Well, hey there. Good morning, friends. First Warn 5 meteorologist Greg Bennett here. We're taking a live look over the plaza right now. You can see that Brush Creek might have a little bit, just a tiny bit of ice left on it. I can tell you one thing, as we move on into the day side, we may be dealing with less ice on the Brush Creek. I'm so excited to say that because the temperatures are warming up. It's going to be a great day overall, but there's a little bit of a catch-22 that we're monitoring, and it will be a breeze to the mix. I want you to be prepared for that. So some breezy conditions and kind of steady with those breezy conditions. But there are a few more things that we need to talk about. One of them is that warm-up, but I do have ourselves a big problem with some first warns in place that we want to discuss. One of them you really already know about. The other one is a brand new update, so let's just get involved with it. Talking about our big snow threat, right? That's one of the things that we brought to you just a couple of days ago. We put a first warning on it for you, but I've got a new update that says, well, maybe not so much a whole lot of snow, more so than perhaps a wintry mix and kind of short-lived if we do see it. This is what's definitely something that happens for our forecast, especially in winter, where we could see a massive or a drastic change in our atmosphere that alters those predicted patterns, right? So we'll talk about that. Thursday, this is one that we already talked about, but we want to make sure that you definitely know it's such a big deal for us that we're seeing a huge drop in temperature. We wanted to add a first warning to it. We're talking about 22 degrees dropping in 24 hours. Wild stuff from 50s, which is today, that's one of our things, warm, to 20s for daytime highs on our Thursday. And the morning lows are expected right back down to those middle teens. Feel like temperatures could be in those single digits. So very cold stuff. This is why we wanted to first warn you on that as well. But let's carry through into our forecast for today. I'm so excited for it. I'm going to just bring in the bus stop forecast to show you where we are with our temperatures, right? So gorgeous, gorgeous sunshine is what we're looking at. Blue skies, just, as far as the eye can see, we're looking great because high pressure is going to be trying to make itself known in between even these frontal boundary systems that are introducing some warmer air for us. We've got temperatures that should push well into the upper 40s and then 50s to the forecast by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now for us, at least around the airport, that should be the high temperature, around 50 degrees. Local areas can make it to 52 or 53. Some areas may only make it to about 48 or 49 degrees. But what we all see is a breezy kind of condition out there. And the gusts could actually raise up to around 30 miles per hour. I want to show you this because we're already dealing with some breezy conditions, 16 up to 22 miles per hour through the mid and late morning. And then as we make it into the early afternoon, lunchtime 30 to 1 o'clock, that's where we should peak with our windy conditions. And that could be as high as almost 30 miles an hour to the metro. So I want you to be aware of that. And because most of the day is going to be technically in the 40s, we will have feel-like temperatures throughout the day, all right? So it's still worth sweaters and jackets, but overall, it's so much better. Even with the wind chill, so much better than yesterday. Let me show you where we're at with our wind chill values for today, kind of just hourly, all the way up to maybe like mid-afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which is where we're seeing the peak of those windy conditions, right? So this is it. This is what you're going to feel like as we move through the day. And as you can tell, basically sticking to mid-40s overall because of that wind gust that could produce up to 30-mile-an-hour winds. So be prepared for that. That's why I'm saying, the sweater, the jacket is still warranted. It's still a good idea. But overall, we're not talking about feel-like temperatures in the teens. That's something that we'll see tomorrow. I know. It's going to be rough stuff for us here. We're talking about temperatures that are going to drop easily 15 to 25 degrees below normal. 15 to 25 degrees below normal. What's normal? Our normal is 46. All right, 46 degrees. So we're talking about 46 down to 36 in some areas, right? That's 20 degrees right there, or pardon me, 10 degrees. 20 degrees is going to put you down to 16. I don't think we're going to make it down that cold, but we are going to, or 26, I'm sorry, my apologies, 26. 30 degrees would be 16, right? 26 though, now that's something we could see. So that may put us about 20 degrees below average. What I'm forecasting for is that we should be anywhere between 26 to 29 degrees for our daytime high. Technically at this time I've got it at 28. That might be adjusted as we move forward. But you see that in the morning, 16. 16, and it comes with wind. We're talking feel like temperatures anywhere between about 6 degrees to 12 degrees for tomorrow morning. So cold stuff, which means that our evening, when you're getting done with work tonight and heading home, those temperatures are going to drop fast, all right? And it's all in association with frontal boundaries that are coming through the area and helping to pull in high pressure that's got a hold of some cold Canadian air. And we're talking about way up north, closer to the Arctic Circle, cold Canadian air. That's why we're seeing the significant drop in temperature like this. But a nice gradual warm up. We're going to get back into some great weather for our weekend. Saturday, Sunday, phenomenal, above average. And it comes with a great forecast even for the evening when it comes down to the big game against the Chargers. You know, tailgating, we're going to be around the upper 40s and lower 50s. Same thing goes for kickoff there. And then we'll drop down to mid 40s. The wind about 5 to 15 miles per hour. So there will be a wind chill. Fourth quarter, it may feel like you're in the mid or upper 30s. So yeah, you know, having those Kansas City Chiefs sweaters on is going to be a good idea, but we're not talking about crazy layers that you'll need. Also, dry conditions out there, partly cloudy skies, all ahead of the next big storm system, which I do want to discuss right now. This is where it gets interesting. So we had a wild ride, last week, I think, with the snowfall chances, right? And, you know, we were calling a while ago for a dusting, maybe a little bit of a half an inch of accumulation, something like that. And then all of a sudden we got like 3 inches. At that last moment, you know, we had an entire atmosphere kind of alter and allow us to kind of shrink the warm air in the mid-levels and allow us to produce much more snowfall in a shorter amount of time. The storm system itself technically slowed down a little bit too. So we had all of this happen all at the very last second as it's arriving to the area, which changed everything on us. And, you know, that's what happens during the winter season. And that's why we also call it forecasting, right? If we were always 100% correct, it wouldn't be forecasting, it would be facting, because it would just be fact that this was going to happen no matter what at this exact time, and this is how much it's going to be. It just doesn't work like that. There's a constant fluctuation in what's going on in our atmosphere, in every retrospect of the atmosphere. That's temperature, that's wind direction, that's wind speed, that's pressure changes, that's moisture amounts. It's a constant, literally millisecond by millisecond, we are seeing alterations to our atmosphere. And when it comes down to the winter season for frozen precipitation, it's even more so a wild ride and trying to, educationally kind of guess, in a sense, what the atmosphere is going to want to do, right? Kind of come up with a hypothesis on it. So I want to take you in to our Tuesday. That's the one thing that we've been seeing here is that we've got confidence Tuesday, maybe Wednesday of next week. This is just one of our models. This is the American model run, extended forecast out. And this one says not much happening on Monday. And then we get into our Tuesday and there's the snow. There it is popping up. But it stays way south, way, way, way south. Now, not 12 hours ago, this same model right here was trying to put in a foot of snow to our area right here around the metro. It's wild, right? So then we have the European model run, and the European model run says, oh no, we'll get maybe a little bit of a drizzle for Monday. That'll come through. And then as we move on into early Tuesday morning, we're going to have a very brief opportunity for some flakes to fly, then quickly switch it over to a wintry mix. And then by the time we really want to hit the roadways, 6 o'clock in the morning, the event is done. So this is a huge change, massive change in our forecast modeling, just in 12 hours. Let alone that we've got days and days and days and days to monitor this. And this is why yesterday, when I brought this to your attention, I said, take this information with a grain of salt. It is going to change. We're trying to figure out what the atmosphere is wanting to do. All right. One of them says we've got all the right ingredients, but we're going to drop the energy and the mixing opportunity further south. And the other one says, nope, we're going to have that mixing opportunity right here, but the temperature is going to be just off for us to actually keep to frozen precipitation through the morning. And we're going to speed up the front and the low pressure system itself, which means that we're going to exit it out quickly as well. So you can see how all these different types of models are coming in. They're taking all these different types of raw data that we get from the atmosphere, and some of that data they're taking that another model doesn't want to take because it doesn't have that mathematical equation to take it, and it comes up with different predicted algorithms. So this is the kind of guessing game that we have, right? And we're the ones that kind of translate that for you. Us on the broadcast side. You know, we are true meteorologists ourselves. We understand the raw data. We can see that and deduce it ourselves. But then we also put it into these algorithms that produce models because that helps us out too. But it's up to us to kind of pinpoint where we're really going to feel this out and then obviously relay that information to you. It's all about being transparent. And I think KCTV5 and the First Warn 5 weather team do a really good job with that. All right, so those are the things that we're monitoring. Like I said, take this one too with a grain of salt. It's going to change. It's going to change. But what we do see is consistency for something to happen, winter weather precipitation-wise, as we move on into the beginning of next week, which is why we want to first warn you about it. Okay, friends, that's all I have for you this morning. I'm going to give you another live look over the plaza right now. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous morning out there. Enjoy it. Just watch out for the breeze. Still worth a sweater and a jacket, but it's still going to be a good day to be outdoors. Loves and hugs, friends.